Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back for some more Star Ladder and I-League finals actions here at the LAN. As myself, ODPixel. At the moment, it is just me. We do apologise, the schedule's kind of gone a bit haywire. Blame LD, but don't worry. Hopefully I'll have a co-caster coming in to join me soon, but at the moment, I'm afraid, chat, you are indeed stuck with me. But we're stuck with the boys here, compLexity versus Secret. Of course, I believe looking at the Liquipedia page, it's not looking good for the side of compLexity. They have lost 3 games in the group, so I'm pretty sure they are guaranteed not making it through to the next stage. Obviously, this game it means a lot for Secret. They're 1-2 at the moment. They need this win if they want to keep themselves still in it. So come on, if you're a Secret boy out there, you're going to be rooting for this compLexity. Can they put a stop in Secret's path? At the moment, it's looking hard. We saw just now Wings beat Liquid. So Wings at the moment, they were kind of level with Secret. Now they've got an extra game. So Secret, they do need this win if they want to have the hope of getting through to the knockout stages. So far in the draft, we've opened up with a Death Prophet, Witch Doctor combination from the side of compLexity. Secret, they get themselves the old Weevoker to open up. And it's always nice to see that. We've seen some games where they put Weeha on heroes like the Zeus, and it hasn't really felt like his hero. It's been alright, but it's not been the big impact, the flashy player, the flashy hero that we'd like to see. And we have got that this game. Secret now with the second pick. Let's see what they value. Scant, do you want to join me, Scant? He's free. We've got a co-caster. Scant's free, so we're going to get him in. You're not in the game on that one, Scant, so you have to just share my lovely camera work. So come and join me as we get Scant in. Scant, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well, actually. I just watched Wings play against Liquid.
Oh, okay, yes.
And I don't know if you saw any of that.
I saw a little bit of it. It looked very good for Wings and not too great for Liquid.
Wings completely dumpstered Liquid, and I've become a Wings fan. And why that's relevant to this game is because Secret's next game after this is against Wings.
It is, and we're doing that as well, aren't we? Secret versus Wings is going to be pretty high.
And I honestly think after the way Wings played in that game that Secret are going to need something special the way they've been playing this tournament. The start's going to have to be beating compLexity. Yeah. If Secret can't win this game,
then the next game is going to be like, well, Wings can totally do it. It's really Secret got to kind of step it up for this match, and as I say, so compLexity, they're out, aren't they? They're 1-3. They can't. They're done, I think.
Because if they win this, they're 2 for 3. They could try get tie breaks, but based on the tiebreak rules we've been discussing, they're probably never gonna.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because according to Liquipedia, at least, this is kind of. I'm going by this site because it was right. Yeah, it seemed to work out the tiebreak rules for us. So yeah, compLexity looks better. And as you said, yeah, this is an important game for Secret. They do indeed need to win this. So far in the draft, Carl are opening up with the Death Prophet, Witch Doctor. Secret getting that Invoker for Weeha. They're gonna follow it up with the Tusk. I mean, do you think at the moment, looking at the bans as well, are Secret fairly happy with this one? These 2 opening heroes. Is there anyone that you're surprised we haven't seen yet? You're surprised on the Void ban. I guess that's targeted specifically towards compLexity as a team.
Yeah, I think Secret should be comfortable going into the draft so far. The Void ban makes a lot of sense because it goes very well with the Death Prophets, and compLexity just go for the low druid. So it's like an all-in push cheese strategy. We've seen hundreds of these so far in the last 2 days. So we know what Secret's going to be getting into, and now, as the draft unfolds, we're going to have to see what's the approach. Do they want to fight into the push? Do they want to push into the push? Do they want to just weather the storm like LGD have been doing and then take it late? I'm not too sure. Secret, I feel like conventionally is a team that wants to just take it late. So I'm a bit surprised they weren't playing the LGD Stars match in this one. Actually, the one game they won was that Nagasaran one, right?
Yeah,
so
against VP.
That's the only time they've won. So going back to something more conventional, and this is almost like TI Secret, Dazzle and Tusk, or Major Secret, sorry, not TI.
Yeah, for Frankfurt
Major.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the kind of the combinations that they pull out. But yeah, compLexity getting that lone druid, one of those heroes that a lot of people are really respecting how strong it can be in this patch at the moment.
Enchantress.
And, they're going to put the Enchantress here.
Did you cast the previous game here?
I did not. The previous game here was compLexity versus Vega. I was watching it vaguely, and they did play Enchantress that game as well, didn't they?
Because Luminous told me that the Enchantress did extremely well, and then didn't buy BKB and got controlled by, I can't remember which spells. So, but the question then would be, apparently the Enchantress was just dominating everyone with the Dragon Lance, the Aghanim Scepter, and
yes, and they had. I think it was controlled. They had a Nature's Prophet propping down the Sprout. I think there was an AA as well, which obviously causes issues for the Enchantress with her heals.
And Lumi said he actually bought a Shadow Blade and not a BKB.
He did, so he got the Shadow Blade on the edge.
So that's an interesting one. But I think Enchantress is a really strong hero, and I think by the sounds of it, they were in a pretty good position to win the previous game. Ended up not winning it. Complexity, I mean, I think they still give us their all regardless, right? Even if we're saying that they're out.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a team that's based over in America, so this is kind of their chance to play on LAN with some of the top EU teams. So I think, yeah, as you said, they're definitely still going to take it seriously and try and do their best to go against Secret. It's definitely a good kind of training ground for them. I'm sure they're going to kind of stick together and work on other tournaments. But as you said, it's just been a hard one for them. And Timbersaw is going to be the pick here, so that's the old Misery Timber. So they're still needing EE's hero. Now, in terms of EE's hero, Ember Spirit's still in the pool. Is this potential Ember Spirit game, do you feel?
I mean, I still think that Ember Spirit's probably his best hero.
Yeah.
And I was calling for him to play it all of yesterday, and then I think he played it against Vegas Squadron.
He did, and that was the Rapier game that was pretty emotional.
They ended up
for
losing that
Ember.
game.
He did in the end, yes.
So
He did win.
maybe that's an argument against it. They do have the Dazzle and Tusk, so that makes me think. I've been asking for a long time to see Eternal Envy Terrorblade. Chinese teams pick Terrorblade a lot right now. They usually pick it with heroes like Dazzle that can save it, make sure you get the sender off. And Eternal Envy used to play Terrorblade a lot if we go a few patches back. So those are like the two heroes that in my head I'm thinking Ember Spirit, Terrorblade.
They did obviously play the Naga in the one game that they won.
Yeah.
So maybe bringing that one back again. The ban on the Kunkka again, another thing directed towards complexity. They actually played that last game. And they did have quite good early game impact, as Lumia's probably telling you. It looked good at the start for complexity, but then Vega just kind of came online, and they did just storm it down. So complexity now with this final pick, still looking for that second support here to team up with Witch Doctor. Let's see what they go for. I mean, against someone like a Timbersaw, maybe something with control like a Disruptor would be good. I'll be honest, I've not seen it. I've got the chance to cast any complexities games, so I'm not too sure what they do usually run with.
They actually like to run junglers, so I was just thinking it's possible they go back to the jungle Enchantress.
Oh, well, it'd
don't
be
offlane
the jungle
it.
Ench. Okay, I didn't cast the last game from the start, so I didn't know where.
No, he was definitely offlane in that
game. He was
game.
offlane in that game, but they could do him.
But I think that they're a
It's
team that like to have a jungler, and so it's a possibility here. If the Ench is offlane, they might take something else for the jungle. They're a team that's liked to play Enigma a lot in the past. I don't think you probably don't see a team picking. Okay, Chen's already banned, so it can't be Chen Enchantress. I'm not completely sure. It's interesting that Secret actually decided to ban the Kunkka of all heroes.
Yeah, as I said, it's just something that Complexity we've been playing with, and maybe a Secret not too used to going up against Complexity, so unaware of really how to really target them outside of what they've seen inside of this LAN.
I think Complexity are maybe a bit nervous now because Timbersaw is so good against push, and they draft like this kind of all-in push thing, and the Tusk is also quite good against push with the ice shard spam. Even the Invoke is quite good.
Yeah.
So they're thinking right now, we've assembled this draft that's going to like all go together and push, and we're not going to win that way. So I think they're considering, do we need to go a slightly different direction with our last pick, or are we too far committed already?
Really going down the timer here, Complexity. In the last moment, it's going to be the Venge, and that will be it will be the support Venge by the looks of it this game.
I mean, unless it's the jungle Enchantress. Unless
it's jungle Enchantress, you said offlane Lone Druid, carry Venge with a Witch Doctor support. Yeah, that's...
Actually, that's my vote right now, I think.
You think that's more likely?
Yeah.
Carry Venge.
I mean, the only thing I don't know is like if the players play those heroes, like does Swindle play the offlane Lone Druid? Does Chessie play the safe lane Venge?
Yeah, we're going to have to see.
I think for the fact that they committed to like the big push, I think it actually does make more sense to make the Venge core and the Enchantress jungle. While Secrets, they need a Eternal Envy hero, and they probably also want it to be a hero that's somewhat interactive early on. I'm not sure what that means for them. You know, they don't want. I don't think they want one of those like Silo Morphlings, which is just like irrelevant and watches from the sidelines while the enemy team pushes.
Yeah, I mean, we've got the Envy Ember. I know there's a lot of people wanting the P. I don't think we're going to see the P. Oh,
this is against Lone Druid. It's meant to be. So
okay.
Apparently Bulldog said, and we know Bulldog's like the expert on Lone Druid. You don't. It's a bad matchup for Lone Druid.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to beat the Weaver 1v1.
I don't think we've seen a lot of Envy Weaver, have we?
We haven't seen it very recently. I think he's played it once or twice in the past. I'm trying to remember. I feel like he's one of the Weavers that just doesn't buy boots. I think. But I can't.
Yeah, no, you might be right. Well, I know in Envy you probably get bots first, Weaver. Yeah. Nice.
Top of my head, I can't remember when last he played it, but it is a hero that he does play sometimes. And the interesting thing though is that it doesn't look like. I think you were right actually. It's support Venge, and carry Lone Druid.
Is that what we're going with?
And if that's the case, yeah, and that means that Weaver probably won't be laning against Lone Druid, and I feel like that's quite a significant part of the pick. I mean, obviously the Swarm's going to be good, the Weaver's going to be a decent pick overall, but I do think that they were considering that the matchup will be good, and they're unlikely to get that lane matchup.
Yeah, this is going to be very interesting. And as we said, this game means a lot for Secret. Very much need this win. They've got this game, and then they're going up against the side of Wings. And, well, going by the stats so far, this should be the easier matchup for Secret.
Yeah, it should. I mean, compLexity got one win. It was against Wings, and it was a bit of a strange game. I thought compLexity got it mostly because of the draft, and even there they struggled.
Oh, catching out Hanskin there with the snowball forward, looking to burst him, and they will with the heal bomb. That's going to be your first blood there for the side of Secret. Nice 5-man smoke up, and just catching the Witch Doctor just on the tip. And the side of compLexity not able to do anything about that.
Apparently, K-pop said that Hanskin means glove. That's what it's...
I believe it does, yes. Yeah.
Interesting name. I guess it's yeah. You can't get into the head of someone else when they name themselves. It seems like such a glove.
It's just a very basic thing. I think it's stuff like milk. Literally just means milk.
Oh, I didn't actually know that either.
Like to name themselves after just
things that they
objects.
like.
Yeah, things that they like. Gloves and milk. Misery. It's going to be able to walk this off. They'll get the rune on the Death Prophet at the same time. We'll be able to claim his.
What do you like more, gloves or milk?
It's got to be milk.
I think me too. Well, in Minsk?
Well, as long as it's in my tea, then we're good.
I mean, it's pretty cold here. I think over here I might go for the gloves.
That's true, yeah. So Hanskin is technically in his element here. As a glove. And what?
Misery died to...
What? Alright.
Alright, I don't know if that's on us, because I definitely didn't expect that to happen.
I didn't expect that to happen. Sorry lads, we should...
Maybe surprised by the fact that the Venger's there and the Enchantress wasn't on his own.
Yeah, so these lanes, I mean, do you think this is something that Secret didn't expect? They do have that Weaver against the Lone Druid, as you said, but it's going to be a little bit more than just that, with the fact that supports are coming in. You've got a TP from Zafri. So you have got this tri-lane versus dual lane, because at the moment Puppy's looking for the rotations. He's heading around towards the mid lane. Maybe seeing if he can get a look in onto Limp. Drop down the sentry, and won't quite catch the wall, but he leads himself in with the snowball. A little bit deeper now with the Siphon. Puppy has to walk this off and ends up taking a hell of a lot of damage at the same time. Top lane, compLexity get a kill onto Dazzle.
Yeah, so rotation around the map, better for compLexity to start with. It made sense for Secret to run the Weaver against the Lone Druid, but then compLexity realized that Timbersaw is probably going to beat its Enchantress, because Timbersaw doesn't rely on right clicks, and that's the Enchantress' strength in lane. They send a gank down there, then the gank comes back up, and when Puppy's not there, they make another kill. So Vengeful Spirit is just getting a lot of work done, basically.
They're going to try again on mid lane, this time with a smoke. Puppy and Pylai die.
Usually you need level 2 Tusk, actually, before you make these rotations.
Yeah, with these level 1 snowballs, it's hard for Puppy to...
Yeah, because if you got the shards as well, you block them in, you get the heal bomb, that kind of... But
here we go. They're going to try again. They've got a bit of a better angle onto Limb. Here with the Stone Strike and the heal bomb, they should be able to get this one. The Spirit Siphon, not enough heals to keep them alive. And this time the gank is successful there, for the side of Secret.
Yeah, and he's going to get very close to
But at the same time, EE, the Weaver, rather, gets taken down by compLexity.
I think that every single time Z-Freak has cast stun on Venge this game, they've made a kill.
I was like, what the hell's going on this game? This is a bit all over the place from Secret. I mean, they are getting themselves a couple of kills, but compLexity seem to be dealing with them at this point in time.
Yeah, and Enchantress is going to have a pretty good start, given the fact that they got that early kill in the Timbersaw. So all the lanes, pretty decent, I would say, for compLexity.
Yeah, this is Secret. I need to be careful and step it up a little bit. Bottom lane, the matchup. Well, at least Misery for himself. He's finding a lot of farm, as expected. He's getting the CS Swindles. Not really going to be able to do enough to harass him, but at the same time, Misery not necessarily going to be killing this Enchantress. The mid lane CS, 15 for 5 on Invoker. That compares to 9 for 2 on them. So Weehar is starting to lead ahead, and of course with that assist as well when they went in. And ECS, 10 for 2. So not necessarily the best that he could have hoped for, and that def did kind of hold him back a little bit. Chessie just a little bit ahead there with the 11 for 5.
I think his EECS is less important than Misery or Weehar's early on in the game, because they want to make sure that they just weather the storm when compLexity start pushing, and Timbersaw and Invoker are a bigger part of that. Weaver's probably going to be split pushing, and once he's really farmed, he'll just fight into them because they don't have that control. But I think the first big timing in this game is when compLexity actually mount their push, and that's going to be about as Timbersaw ready to deal with it.
Secret just from the low ground, seeing if they could get a lead in to make a jump. Puppy's still running around. He has got that level 2, and Pylo died with 2 points of the Shadow Wave, so they have got the heal bomb potential. So they're going to maybe look back towards the mid lane. They want to try and secure the 4-minute rune. Z-Freak is there, and actually Puppy a little bit scared. With the Witch Doctor as well, they need to be careful of the side secret. They do have Weaver coming in. In fact, they want to fight. Weehaw going in with the Cold Snap onto Limb, but there's the Magic Missile onto the Invoker. Weehaw being chased down, a drop of Meteor, but with the right clicks, Z-Freak will go down. Limb, can he find the return kill? He does, so they will get the trade there. Weaver unable to find anything else. Meanwhile, at the same time, just a bit to the north, Puppy did get the kill onto the Witch Doctor, so making a 2-for-1. That is the 2 supports, but losing your Invoker. And it did force quite a big rotation from Secret away from farming to get those kills. It's
a nice little play from Weehaw, even though he dies. Meteoring like away as he was running, so if you want to chase him, you have to run over the Meteor. If he does it, you know, towards the guy, he's not going to actually get the kill. So I definitely appreciate that.
4 for 4, still very close at this point. It's going to be very interesting to see how much Misery can do, because top of the CS, he's getting a huge amount on this Timbersaw here in the safe lane, especially compared to Envy's Weaver. He's got the Aquila done now, still holding his out, but of course very, very squishy.
Enchantress is level 6, and I think I see Venge down there, so they might go for another kill on Misery now. It's definitely a possibility. And I think that depending on how far you go with Timber Chain, it can increase the damage of the impetus.
Oh. That is a big stomp there, stopping Misery's Timber Chain out, and Z-Freak to follow through with a Magic Missile. And again, Secret they're getting caught out up and down the map.
Yeah, it's pretty much every time Venge appears somewhere, there's a kill. And I agree that that stomp with the Centaur was really good. It was well planned by Swindle in advance.
Well-timed. What's the plan when you're kind of running a draft with Weaver? What kind of pace are you hoping for the game to go? Are you playing for the late game, or are you kind of hoping for the early game advantage?
I mean, secrets are one way to fight against the push is to try and just dominate the lanes, but I think that's you don't really expect that to be the only way to win. I think that their major plan to deal with the timings of compLexity involves Timbersaw getting farm, getting items, and that's why I think it's. I don't know, he's got a lot of farm, but he has gone down twice. The good thing for Secret, and maybe the one thing to focus on for compLexity, is that their Death Prophet looks under threat quite often. She's not that far behind the Invoker, but she did go down once, and there was a lot of action around the mid lane. I think the reason that fight happened at the mid, like in the river, was because mostly Secret wanted to put pressure on Death Prophets, and then compLexity can protect her, and she's quite central to what's happening here early on. Because if she has a poor game, I don't know, compLexity maybe don't even start their push.
Yes, yeah. It's a bit of momentum responsibility here held by the Death Prophet. And we'll get the game back on. We are, of course, working towards his Midas. Coming to 600 on top of the Gloves of Haste. And Puppy is in position just to see if they can catch out Limp if he comes a little bit too close. And that's going to be too close. They'll get the jump through. Charge hitting drop down as well. They've got the Cold Snap with the Siphon. Limp's going to be able to walk it off. And the TP from Hanskin enough to force back Secret. They try and make a go there with 3 heroes, but they aren't going to be able to get anything more on Limp. He'll also find himself a regen rune top.
It's interesting because a lot of the time when Tusks gank into the mid lane, the hard part is just getting onto the person, and Puppy keeps getting there, but on his own and not with enough backup, and they can't always make that kill. It's still going to make Limp feel a lot less safe in his lane.
Oh, they want to go for Misery here. They're going to try and wrap around. They've got the Magic Missile into the Centaur Stomp, and look at the damage from this impetus. You know that they've done this before. compLexity know exactly how to run this duo.
Yeah, and again, it's the most important hero for them to be killing, the Timbersaw, over and over and over, because the Timbersaw is the one that's going to stand in the way once they start trying to go for objectives.
Absolutely, especially, as you said, the hero at the top of the farm. It is a high priority kill for the side to be getting. 6 for 4. Envy, 27 for 9, still just a little bit behind this lone Druid, but as you said, he's feeling fairly safe in this lane. When there's just the 2 heroes here, he should not really have any danger of being caught out unless he goes over aggressive and they're able to punish him. And backups around as well. In fact, Misery is now going to TP up to the top lane, avoiding this bottom lane confrontation with the Enchantress and the Venge.
Yeah. I'm not sure if this is to... Is he defending himself from dying? Actually, I think he might be just going to fight. And this time the snowball's not going to be on its
Oh,
own.
Hanskin in a lot of trouble. Didn't expect that. Straight through. No mercy for Secret. They burst down the Witch Doctor.
Yeah, and that's a scary... I was thinking of Tuscan.
Oh, at the same time...
I left my hoof prints in your backside.
Okay. So Invoker killed Death Prophet, and Enchantress, she Hadoukened the Invoker.
I guess so. Yeah.
Alright, okay.
Yeah, because Enchantress definitely wasn't there herself.
No. So things going a little bit haywire all across the map at the same time as we were seeing that bit of action onto the Witch Doctor. They will get a push onto this tower. What the hell's going on? Hadouken's purple balls being shot everywhere. This Enchantress Swindles. He seems to be pretty much the biggest issue here for Secret at the moment. He's 4 for 0 for 0. Level 8. He's getting all the farm that he needs. And as we saw a little bit in the last game against Vega, you've got to be careful going up against this Ench. He's got drums done now on top of the treads. And already the impetus is just doing huge work, and the micro as well has been there.
It's so interesting, the drums choice, because it's roughly the same cost as the Dragon Lance, which is really, really good on Enchantress. It gives similar stats, gives you HP, gives a little bit of attack. And it tells me that they really want that aura for the team, the kind of like little bit of move speed and attack speed. I wouldn't be that surprised if Enchantress buys the Dragon Lance anyway after the drum too, but definitely I think you'd more commonly see the Dragon Lance.
Straining top, looking for the Hanskin kill, and they're going to get it with the Sunstrike. Being TP in from the Venge. Envy? Envy? He's got time lapse. He'll be alright. He needs to be a little careful. They'll chase him down a bit, but he'll duke it off with the Scucci. He's going to be fine.
Is this where the game turns around? Because Venge went for a kill and didn't make it?
I mean, maybe, yeah. This was the first time that Zavreeks, tried to go for something and didn't get it. So it could be this beginning of change here, favouring the side as Secret.
At the same time, Enchantress is just being like completely uncontrolled. It seems like Secret's
so
approach is just like whatever Enchantress. And we do have we are playing an Exort Invoker, right? So there's a lot of spell damage, which is very good against Enchantress. There's the Timber Sword, also the Burst. So they do have ways to kill Enchantress going later in the game, and it'll be interesting to see if that Enchantress ends up with the BKB, which was, I think, a talking point of the previous game, that he didn't buy one.
Misery trying to move in onto Swindles and burst him down, and he'll do it.
I'll talk about that, that spell damage.
Big value kill there for Misery, ending the streak, getting a good amount of gold, and shutting the Enchantress off the map for 30 seconds. Big kill for the side of Secret. But yeah, 9 to 7 at the moment, 10 minutes in. Limp will find himself in Invis. He's got the phase, has got that exorcism ready. And Envy still keeping the pressure on top. I guess the question is, how do you think this Weaver's going to build this game? Does he need to go for the Lincolns, or is this a game where we see him go just for the straight-up Deso, potentially?
Yeah, I don't think he needs Lincolns. I'm not sure what he does buy. Maybe it's something else earlier. Some Weavers used to buy like Medallion for fighting, but he could get Dragon Lance as well. It's not a bad Dragon Lance hero. It's actually, I think the biggest deal in this game so far is that Secret killed the first tower, and they're like the ones pressuring the lanes, even though complexity are the lineup that's more about grouping and pushing. And that's, I think it's very important. If you're the team defending against the push, if you get some early objectives, breathing room on the map, that extra bit of gold, and we can look at the net worth and see that actually Secret's got 3 of the top 4 net worths. It's the DP and the Lone Druid a bit behind.
That was using complexity now with smoke. Seeing who they can find out across the map. They're going to head straight into the jungle. We are kind of close by, but they're going to make a beeline by the foot straight towards the bottom. Now that's that Misery. He's holding on. He's going to reveal himself, yes. So they know that he's there. They've actually got the full 5-man down here, the side of complexity. So they want to die. Misery's going to go for the straight TP out, and he's going to make it just in time before the
forest on his way out.
through.
His ulti just follows him to base.
Nasty forestation. The space is kind of created for as complexity, even though they don't get the kill, they get themselves the tower. Weaver's been still left alone a bit top. He's starting to rack up the gold, 1300. Z3 on his own in the dire jungle.
What a sign that is. You see Enchantress pick up 2 smokes, and to me that's like, Swindle, you can tell, is like telling his team, we gotta get something going.
Oh, Envy coming right under the tower for this one, and it will time lapse straight back out. They'll steal the Forge Spirit. You can see Puppy trying to fight up against the bear. Chessie hanging around on the sideline. Look, here comes complexity, moving in full force. They're going to see if they can find someone. They get the silence out. Comes the impetus onto Weehard. Do they have the control there? The swap, bringing Weehard back. They do have a shallow grave now with a snowball. Going straight back in. We are looking for the TP out, but the paralyzing cask is there. The impetus onto Puppey. Puppey's going to go down as well as Weehard. 2 kills there for the side of compLexity. And they've got the push here with that exorcism to go for a tier 1. Fortification will come out, but it looks like compLexity should still get it. And again, another very good fight here for the side of compLexity.
Yeah, that's what I think. When Swindle bought those smokes, it was like he probably told his team, guys, we're really strong right now. Let's just force things. And they go for it. They get the kills. They get the tower. And now it's starting to look a lot more like the game that they were hoping for at their draft.
Some big stuff indeed. And this Enchantress just getting richer and richer. 1k on top of the Dragonlance drums. Level 11 as well on Swindles. This is... yeah, he was given quite a start here. But we have seen that they can burst him down. You know, Misery with the combo can deal with him.
I mean, if he were to buy a BKB, I can come back to it because it was a talking point for the last game. But they really, I think he's unkillable if he buys a BKB in this game for quite a long time.
Yeah, at this point, when there's, you know, you've not gotten any damage item yet on the Weaver.
Weaver would, well, not just damage, Weaver would need its own BKB. Otherwise, the Untouchable is just gonna deal with it. So it might be a consideration for Swindle to actually buy BKB even before Aghanim Scepter in this game on Enchantress.
There we go. Smoked up. And ready to go on the bottom lane. Misery actually timber chaining past the towers here. Maybe trying to kind of act as the bait. It's going to work. compLexity are moving in to try and look for the kill. They get the silence, the swap. The silence is going to be off point. Misery still able to timber chain out. And Secret are incredibly deep here for this fight. Thinking about trying to go. Chessie comes in as well. Secret is kind of messing around here in the tree line. They'll get the defensive weave down. The armor starts to tick up. And Secret realise they're in a little bit of an awkward position here. And they don't really want to fight blindly into the side.
They just try to force a play because DP ulti is cooling down. All the better teams you'll see in this tournament have been facing DP that way. Whenever the ulti's not ready, you have to go for some kind of kills or tower. Or unfortunately, Secret actually don't get anything out of this one, but it's a positive sign that they acknowledge the window at least.
compLexity will split themselves back up across the map. Hansken, not yet. Got his level 6 here on that Witch Doctor. Close to level 11 on Death Prophet. But still, as you said, yeah, the Enchantress may be top. They have got 3 solid kind of high net worth heroes on the side of Secret. compLexity actually going to look for Roshan here with the help of Untouchable. The question is, does Secret know about this? Are they going to, Can they contest it though?
Timbersaw could cause some trouble. Invoker could throw a Meteor, but it certainly doesn't look like they've made that decision to contest. Yeah, they're just pushing the lanes, getting value in the meantime. I mean, it can actually be disastrous for a team if you try and contest, like, desperately, everyone go from the rest of the map, get there, and they still get rushed. So I think it's actually a sign of just Secret being quite calm in the face of they're getting rushed, whatever, we'll get as much value as we can.
2 tier 1s for it, so not the worst of trades, and oh dear. Timbersaw getting caught out on the bottom, left alone, and compLexity moves straight down there after getting the Aegis.
Boys, we do still have this dynamic where Secret are killing so many towers, and it's definitely not what we expect if we look at the 2 drafts, and that's certainly worrying for compLexity. I think if Secret hadn't killed, how many have they got now? 3 towers? If they'd killed 0 towers instead of 3 towers, compLexity would be very, very far ahead.
Oh, an MV. Yeah, they're out. Puppey TP's away as soon as the compLexity coming in with the defense. Weaver gets himself out as well.
It does look like Eternal Envy is going to go for Lincolns anyway. I mean, it's a standard build-up on Weaver, so...
Yeah, you're definitely playing... It feels like you're playing for the later portions, but I guess when you've got the Invoker, you have got that strength, but you are doing it against a very, very strong lineup on the side of compLexity with that lone Druid that's now got 2.5k gold. Interesting enough, it's not been the Midas game for this lone Druid that we've pretty much seen. I'd like to say the majority of lone Druids that I've casted do seem to go for that Midas into Radiance. I guess with the money you're stockpiling, it will still be the Radiance here for Chessie. Yeah,
it's likely to be the Radiance. I don't think he goes back to the Midas, and if he doesn't buy a Maelstrom very soon, then we kind of know it's the Radiance he's saving for. Eternal Envy is very far behind enemy lines, but he is a Weaver, so very slippery. In fact, they don't really have an efficient way to deal with them at all. So he's just going to cut the wave, I think. Stop their push, just really be annoying.
And they might still be able to have a little bit go to tier 1, but It's at full health. You've got Piladai pressuring the mid lane there with the forward spirits that have been laid down by Weeha.
So even though there were hiccups for Secret in the lane stage, I actually think they have a very intelligent approach to how the game looks right now. They go for the windows when DP ulti is down, they go for kills. They don't contest the rush, they just get towers, they understand they need to get value, they're cutting waves. So they're pulling out all the tricks that need to be used to make sure the complexity don't get good value by grouping up as 5.
Envy, you can see that he was thinking about going for that. There's a Sunstrike, but it's going to be duped. And Scant, it's going to be fine for the time being, and Secret, they just feel that they can't try and dive in that deep.
I do think this is a dynamic that we've seen play out many times in this tournament, and it's a dynamic throughout lots of patches. Very often, a more experienced or somewhat stronger team, I guess you could say if Secret are, will punish the weaker or less experienced team when they group up by not giving them what they want.
All them. Oh, Sunstrike. It's going to be split anyway. It's going to be enough. Envy is still hanging around here on this Weaver. Trying to be as annoying as he can, blocking off the creeps. Did manage to get a little wave around, so they'll go for the tier 1 push here. Fortification will buy some time for the side of Secret, but the tower will still fall. At the same time, Misery's pressuring onto the tier 2 on the bottom lane. TP coming in for a limp. Just get down the silence with the Spirit Siphon. Going to begin the chase. There's a TP in from the Venge, but it is the long one. And Scant coming in for the low ground, and Misery could be in trouble. The cask will fly out. It's not going to bounce onto anything. But again, with the Siphon slow, trying to allow him to close the gap. They'll get the swap off, and Misery has to kill himself.
Misery has to kill himself. That's harsh. You just said that on the stream. But
wow. It's true, yeah. It's a little bit harsh. Don't kill yourself, Misery.
But
I'm sure your parents love you.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. And I think that despite killing Misery, even if he hadn't suicided there, I feel like complexity are just not getting the trade they want at all. Strategically, tactically on the map, they're trying to group up and do things. They recognize that Secret can't really fight into them, and Secret do as well. And Secret are getting excellent trades everywhere, and I think complexity will be getting increasingly frustrated at the situation.
Let's have a look at the graph. How's that kind of showing? It's just been up and down, up and down. It is 2k at the moment for Secret, but 20 minutes in, it's very much got a chance to go back. The snowball onto the bear, looking to try and catch it out. Nope, Savage Roar says nope, and the bear will live. Will be able to get itself back home. Oh, Sunstrike the bear. No. Jesse tanks it there for his pet.
So he's pretty close to Radiance. That could be a big item.
Yeah, he's right. Yeah, it's through the recipe. So, yeah, 20 minutes, 20 or so minutes. He's going to have that done, and it's going to be quite an issue here for the side of Secret. It's now no longer that easy for Envy to play around and get the kill onto the lone druid with that missed chance affecting him. I'll be interested to see what item he does go for next after Lincoln's, if he goes for the Deso, or if maybe because of that he thinks of going for the straight up MKB.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I start to understand more and more why he bought Lincolns though, because if you look at the way Secret are approaching the game, complexity try to group. Secret say we won't give you a fight, we're going to split push, and usually the response then is you have to have pickoff power. But how are they going to make pickoffs? Like, they need to buy a Hex to try get pickoffs on this Weaver, but he's already got a Lincolns in advance, so that's really the frustration for complexity right now, is that they don't have good ways to pick off Secret Zero, so Secret can just keep split pushing and pressuring the map.
He's coming out onto Envy. You've just got Jesse coming through. Envy has got the backup here of Misery. Level 13 at this point, and as we saw just down on the bottom lane when the Enchantress was getting some farm. Worth noting the Swindles. I think that is the completed Aghanims now. Yeah, Aghanim's now done for this Enchantress. 21 minutes in, she is looking incredibly stacked. Only 1k behind Weeha's mid lane Invoker.
Yeah,
that's
very
an Invoker
strong.
that had a Midas very early on as well.
Yeah, ridiculously strong, the Enchantress. But again, it's all nothing if you don't get things to hit. And Enchantress is actually one of those like sort of carry / core heroes which, because of your power comes from impetus, you're not actually good at hitting buildings. You really want the enemy team to come fight you, and exactly what Secret are doing is just not that. So I still ask the question, at what point are complexity going to find some kind of way to make pickoffs? Because I think they need that. They need to either just commit and say, okay, we're going straight down the lane, doesn't matter if you split push, or they have to find a way to make pickoffs.
And you sign up what Envy's going to budget now, just 1300 saved up. Pyro down Weeha. They're just pushing in the bottom. They've got the Forge Spirits out. They'll be able to check a pretty good go at getting this tier 2. There's a fortification available for complexity, but they're not going to look to defend this, so they'll take the tier 2 beside a Secret at the same time. Complexity looking for the trade. got Exorcism up and ready to go if Secret do try and fight into this, but looks like Secret gonna play the safe game. complexity gonna play that's even safer. Any big items coming out. Ether Lens on top of that. Jules is now done for Limp. In the bottom lane, still Secret. They're going to just get some damage onto the tier 3 and a fair bit as well with the Forged Spirit. So Secret actually getting a bit more done with this. And complexity realised they'll send back Swindles here for the defense and try and hold back the push that this Invoker was starting to do. But already we're seeing how much this Invoker can do with the Forged Spirits if he gets left alone in the lane.
Yep. And yeah, each time I just check again and I'm like, has the dynamic changed? Nope, not really. Nice. And I worry, I don't know, what is the game plan for complexity to change it? I don't think the all-in push works. Secret could defend even if they wanted to, although they probably won't have to. And I don't see the item that's going to suddenly give them the pick-off power. They like farm into 2 hexes. I guess with 1 hex they could make pickoffs on at least the Timber Saw, even though they wouldn't be able to kill the Weaver that easily.
MV. Not too much you can do against the bear on his own at this point in time. The ping's coming out. Yeah, complexity at the moment. What is going to be the game plan for them? They're looking around the map, seeing if there's going to be an opening for them to go on. Puppy, of course, working on the west bottom lane. Weeha, he's caught out the Enchantress. Swindles maybe in a bit of trouble. He's actually going to steal one of the Forged Spirits now. Weeha does need a bit of backup if he wants to try and go for the kill. And in fact, he's got to run. Look at the impetus damage, forcing back this Invoker. For the shards, Swindles. Can he game this one? Well, there's 4 heroes on the side of Secret closing in, and Puppy can't quite get the ultimate off there. Swindles walks away in time before the attack animation gets through, and now, yeah, complexity, they're the ones with backups now. Puppy caught out. Magic missile into the impetus. It's another kill here for Swindles. And at the same time, you have Chessie just forcing Misery right back down the lane. And yeah, complexity, they had the Enchantress covered. They just, the side of Secret couldn't kill her quick enough, you know, before complexity were able to react.
But look at Secret's response there. Split pushing as usual. Although
he's out.
Gets out and he's safe, and Envy goes back to farming. Yeah, it's not a very interactive game plan from Secret, but I think it's the correct one for
Misery. He needs to be very, very careful. Adam, he might be out of luck. I think he's dead. He's going to try and get himself to the side. The bear actually dying as it dies too long, so Misery will live. Now it's Secret with the answer coming forward, but Limp, he's got Exorcism, and Puppy Big Chit, look at this impetus hits, just bursting through the man. He's got rooted. There is a shallow grave, but this man's a dead man. Puppy's gone for 40 seconds, and complexity.
It's a lot of stalling.
Take the tier 2.
It's a lot of stall. There was 2 graves in a row. He just graved the Timber, then he graved the Tusk, so a lot of saving, a lot of time made for Eternal Envy. And DP is this has got to be level 2 ulti by now, right?
It is, yeah, this is level 13, yeah.
So they're going to try and get as much as they can before the ulti runs out, but I think it's out quite soon. Yeah, it's out now.
Catch out the bear, and we'll screw with him. There'll be a swap onto Weeha as a freak though now. Now that Weaver has got that death, so doing a fair bit of damage, and this could be the turnaround fight. Chasing down the side of complexity, gets hands Ken. Envy, slowly but surely doing it. They've got pretty much no armor, and that's another one. Swindles will be able to get himself out.
Yeah, and again, it's like complexity got to the enemy base, and they were like, this is such a rare chance, we want to get something done. But the DP ulti didn't have a lot of time on it, and Secret knew that. And as soon as DP ulti runs out, Secret also knew that's a window where they win the fight. Eternal Envy now has a Desolator as well, and it's not, yeah, for a while now, I think Eternal Envy and we have both been at the top of the net worth, not just the one of them.
Yeah. They're really starting to catch back up, and I imagine that will be shown on the graph. Yeah, we're starting to see a 5k lead, so still not the hugest, but definitely Secret regaining some of the strength and keep it on top. Misery now, what does he need to build on this Timber Saw this game? Does he need a BKB?
I don't think so, really.
He's going for the straight up bots first.
Yeah. There's that, and he might even just buy Shivas off that, or Aghanim Scepter. I don't think there's huge pressure on him to get a BKB. Even a Blade Mail could be good against the Death Prophet.
Death Prophet herself, how is she doing? It looks like, I guess she is going to go for the BKB on Limp. I mean, against the Invoker and the burst of the Timber Saw.
Yeah.
Be nice for just waltzing in with the ult on.
Is Enchantress building into BKB?
Nope. It's just got Hyperstone.
Okay, well, fair enough. I mean, look, the one argument is that Enchantress, the only way she dies is to the Invoker Timber Saw damage, so you buy BKB. But I think the response, if you ask Wendell, he'd be like, well, if they're using everything on Enchantress, that's meant to be a win for us, because I'm actually the off-laner.
Yeah. I guess, yeah, it works in that sense that, yeah, he's sort of the kind of come and get me tank at the moment. And Secret, of course, they've only been able to kill him that one time that Misery was able to burst him down so in the lane. Misery moving in, but oh dear, Misery. Look at Swindle just sitting there on the side. The swap backs there, they've got the control, and Misery will deny himself just in time. But again, he's got to be careful when he comes down these lanes because they've already got the control. They just need Enchantress and one of these Disablers nearby, and they can just chunk through even the tankiest of heroes on Secret.
I think this game must be incredibly frustrating for compLexity because they struggle so much to get pickoffs. They know they need them, and then whenever they're about to get one on Misery, he just denies himself. I think it's really got to be getting under their skin. They're strong in a lot of ways, but they're not finding good ways to make use of their strengths on the map.
Weeha. Looks like he'll have a good attempt at this tier 2, but he is on his own, and compLexity coming through. Weeha silenced up and taken down.
Can he blink out?
Looks like he should be able to. Ooh, yep, he gets out, as you said, Jess. He's making use of the Aegis there in some shape or form. And there's going to be 5 heroes on the side of compLexity coming towards the mid, and with that, we'll see if they're ready to try and get a push on themselves. They know that the Aegis is down. This could be a good time to try and have a go at it, as they do have Exorcism available.
Yeah, if they had made that kill before the Aegis, that forces a buyback. It would be like the biggest moment of the game for them so far. Because the Aegis is there, it's not really that big. But we still see the Exorcism, and I don't know if Secret fight into it or if they try to do like they did before, wait for it, wait it out.
Oh, swap onto Puppey, silenced up. I think, did he just try and smoke?
I'm not too sure.
It's looking a bit of messy at the moment. Secret Misery's trying to come in, try and do something in return. Swindle's just sitting there, dishing out the damage with this impetus. Bam, bam, bam. 2 dead on the side of Secret. Weeha does yours himself. You got Envy cleaning up on the back lines, though. Has already found himself a double kill. Looking for Hanscam, will get the triple. Envy on his Weaver, pretty much recovering the game here for Secret, and this could be huge if they can get the 4th. Swindle's an incredibly high priority target. He's only died once this game, and Envy looking to make sure that it becomes a second. In fact, the Tornado is going to be the one that finishes off. Goes through, takes him down, double kill for Weeha, triple kill for Envy. The cores are coming online, they're certainly doing it, and suddenly Envy now with 4.2k gold on top of the Dessa.
Yeah, and this is that problem. Once the Weaver got too big, there's nothing in compLexity's draft to deal with them. It's the same problem we've been discussing all along. They don't have pickoff, they also don't have anything to deal with Weaver. Those are the same kind of tools.
Moonshard's Weaver.
In time. By the way, did DP ulti in the last fight? I don't think he did.
Didn't get it off.
He like ran out of mana or something and then couldn't use it, which the whole time we're talking about how the ulti is their big tool.
And Secret off the back of that, suddenly knocking on the racks here on this bottom lane. There'll be a buyback from Enchantress. They've lost the range racks. And they're going to give it a good shot at the melee. It's going to be the time that's used by Weaver. Lincoln's has been popped in. Well, Weaver, Shallow Grave up. He's got to get himself out of it. He's still ticking down low. He could be in trouble. He's silenced up at Envy, down for 70 seconds. Going from top of the charts to bottom of the charts there with his performance. And now a very vulnerable position for Secret to be in.
And
60 seconds without the Weaver.
He doesn't have buyback, right? Because
No.
he just bought the min shard.
No buyback on the man.
Enchantress used buyback, so I guess similar. Well, does Puppey get out? I don't think so.
There's your route, and that is also touched down. He himself, no buyback as well.
It's definitely a blunder for Envy. I feel like it's so difficult for them to kill him that if he doesn't have buyback, he really just shouldn't be dying. He's got to be more careful, and I think it's probably on him a bit and on Secret in general if compLexity gets, I don't know, a Raxia.
So 30 seconds to go for the push. They do have a fortification, so we'll see what Secret can do in terms of holding. And whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, well that's bad. Misery wasn't even in the base. He was still trying to do something bottom, and they just end up straight up killing him. Weeha looking for the defense, going in onto the bear. There's a Sunstrike. It's not going to connect. Chelsea will keep the man alive.
Because the Enchantress and the Venge went for the Timber Sword, that means they definitely can't go for the high ground though. So I think Misery will see that as like a worthy sacrifice. It's one of those like Pylai die deaths where we actually kept our base alive.
Still could definitely go either way, yeah, as you said. Keeping the base up. Secret is still there with the definitive lead. We've got 10k here as an advantage. And they did, of course, do a significant amount of damage here to the base at the bottom. Melee Rex do still stand in that lane. And Envy with the Moonshards, the Deso. Could he just continue to build offensively? Or does he need to ever look for something like the BKB, or is the Lincoln's going to be enough for him this game?
It should be enough. Yeah. I mean, I'm not really sure. I didn't catch exactly the combination of why he died, but I think it's on play. I really think it's like he got a bit too relaxed, and that's sort of the way I see the rest of the game is if Eternal Envy doesn't die again or doesn't die without buyback again, it's very, very difficult for complexity, and I think he'll know it. I think he'll have like they'll have discussed it when he died the first time. Like, okay, this is the priority. Just make sure I don't die, and we're sorted.
Absolutely, and of course, Weeha still progressing at a very good rate on this Evoker. He's 5k, nearly above Lone Druid, top farmer on the side of complexity.
The one tool that's actually working really well for complexity that I've noticed is the Vengeful Spirit swap.
Ah, yeah, the Venge has been big.
And actually bought a Shadow Blade. I saw the amulet earlier and thought it would just be a Glimmer Cape, but we've been talking about pick-off problems, and that's, you know, one of the better items for them to buy. Vengeful Spirit, get a Shadow Blade, get right onto someone to start the gank.
Absolutely, just having that initiator, someone that's going to be able to, you said, catch out the Weaver. I think so far the biggest issue here for Envy has been when he's kind of time-lapsed and then the Death Prophet comes through with the silence.
And that's actually...
That's the big thing.
If you think about it, with the Shadow Blade on Venge, it's probably possible for them to catch out Weaver with like quickly swap and then stun, and then whoever else is there. They'd have to have some true sight, but it makes it a bit more scary for the Weaver. Speaking of which...
Here we go, the exact combination you talked about. Oh, he does get off the time-lapse. Look at the impetus go. Doesn't quite have the vision for that final one to touch. And Envy, he hasn't got the time because already used. Oh, gets one touch in, but Envy will be lucky enough to get himself out of there. But as we saw, he's got to be very careful and aware that this Venge has got that Shadow Blade.
So I wonder if, like, maybe the players...
He's going to try for the collar, but straight away the route onto Weeha. Silence as well. Secret, they've been rumbled here with this attempt. They throw down the Ice Shaft. They do trap Lim. Trying to roll in, but they actually go on the snowball onto the Lone Druid Bear. Bear falling low. They should be able to get in. They do. Fringe got it for Weeha. But look at the cars bouncing between the two of them. Invoker getting taken down. Impetus 1-2 shotting Pylai die. Double kill for Swindles. And now with the Exorcism up, Complexity could look to try and go for a set of racks in the mid lane. There's no fortification here for the side of Secret. Weeha does have buyback there.
Secret really overextended there. I think Envy told them that there were two people ganking him top, and they tried to go in, and then they suddenly realized actually Complexity's all here.
BKB actually being popped by Weeha here as they look to try and take down the bear. This will be the second time here. He doesn't have a resummon for 85 seconds. That's the bear gone. They get the bear down. Now they're looking for their owner itself. Jesse being caught out in the tree line, jumping forward. They will find him. Hansken able to TP out Jesse. I'll say that it'll take him a bit of time, but Envy does chase him now with the Scucci. Gets himself a double kill as he also picked up the Venge in that fight. So again, Secret, they just every time I need, they find themselves the kills. Bottom lane, they're going in with the Bullets of Travel on the Timbersaw, on the Invoker. They've caught out Liv. Can they get themselves the kill? Yeah, with the right clicks, the physical damage is too much. They get themselves the DP kill. There's a buyback from the Vengeful Spirit. The other two do have buyback available as well. Swindles looking to get himself in position from the back. Hansken Glimmer caped up. Shadow Blade, they'll close it onto Weeha and they get the kill. That's a dieback here on the Invoker. Weaver, Envy trying to fight. They've got a sentry down here. It's missile in 4 seconds, but it's not soon enough. The Hoostomp though, that could be enough. Swindles just right-clicking him down. The time-lapse is there though, and now Envy's turning. There's 4 dead at the moment on the side of Complexity. Could soon to be 5. Swindles gets chakrammed by Misery. They do take him down. He's now down for 85 seconds. They don't have a buyback on the Enchantress. They don't have it on the Vengeful Spirit. They do have it on the other 3.
But DP doesn't have ulti even if she buys back, so it's not really that useful of a buyback. Does the Lone Druid have a resummon?
It's probably available in 10 seconds, so he will have it back pretty shortly after he's back up. Fortification coming out here though. And we've already seen the pushing power of this Weaver with the Deso, with the Moon Shards, can make short work here off the racks. And Misery just jumps straight in here. See if the bear gets lucky with the root. Death Ward gets laid down, but Misery going to be able to walk it off with the Ghost Scepter. So the Death Ward effectively useless here from Hansken. Punch the bear, and again this would be the bear dying again. That's just been resummoned, so that is bear down for 100 seconds. Complexity, after really giving Secret a run for their money for what seems to be the entire game, suddenly just really falling apart. And they find themselves 2 lanes of melee racks, and well, the full set as well just on this bottom lane. So Secret keeping themselves in, but it's... I don't know if this is going to be a game that Secret are happy with if they win this one.
Yeah, I think Complexity in the sort of micro interactions in the game have actually outplayed Secret. They've had smarter, like, small plans for ganks and how to approach laning, where to, how to execute their fights. But Secret in the macro level have had, they've just kind of tactically beaten them throughout the game, and that's what it felt like to me. Complexity were mostly choking. It took moments of brilliance and clever ideas for them to get those opportunities. But ultimately their draft puts them in a position where it's very difficult to deal with the Weaver. They very nearly killed him, actually, in that last fight.
They did, yeah. They nearly didn't. Yeah, I think they would have as well if the Enchantress hadn't run out of mana. The EMP from Weeha really causing an issue there for Swindles. And they'll smoke up and they'll look to go. Let's actually have a look at the buyback statuses now for both of the sides. So as we can see on the die, 3 heroes without buyback available. I'll check Roshan. Oh, it's just about to spawn. Envy, stay there. Yeah, he's got it. Okay. They'll go for Roche. Make short work of that complexity. Not really in a position to make their way over to the pit. So this will now be Secret fighting with the Aegis on Invoker. And it's getting close to the point where this could be what they need to try and get the last tier 2 and look for pushing complexity close to having Mega Creeps.
So they are still going to be fighting at the high ground very likely, and Lone Druid and DP do have buybacks. But at the same time, we saw in the previous, like, those are really not good buyback heroes. If Lone Druid buys back, usually won't have the summon. If DP buys back, usually won't have the ulti. So I actually think that this is going to be a very difficult defense for complexity.
There we have it. Tier 2's gone. The last lane exposed. Secret. Let's see how.
I think Envy goes for the top racks. There's still that 1 racks up there.
I guess he can actually, yeah. So they're just playing it safe for this moment inside. I guess Secret feeling a little bit more comfortable now with the way that the last few minutes have gone. As we can see, they've regained what they had, and now they're starting to push it even
yeah, they don't actually, they don't have to be in a rush. I think that's what they probably discussed. They were like, we could go high ground now, but there's no reason to do it. We can just wait, and it only gets better for us. They would have liked to bait out the DP ulti or something like that. I mean, if DP waits to ulti, then they're going, definitely.
Halberd's now done on Misery as well. Kind of interesting choice, but suits the going against, obviously, this Enchantress, who's not got a BKB, did build the Rod of Atos after Moon Shards and the Dragon Lance and the Axe. I mean, this is still a very, very scary inch if she is allowed to get her hits out. She could certainly rip through some of these heroes. And of course, Cheese is being held by Envy here, ready for the next fight. But as you said, it's definitely up to Secret when the next fight is going to happen. They're the ones in the driver's seat after getting that Roshan, after having those 2 lanes of melee racks down on the side of complexity.
I'm kind of on the lookout for what the next clever trick is from complexity, because that's what I feel like they've had up their sleeve this game. Quite a lot of clever tricks and movements. They probably involved the Venge. I think that's got to be their plan. That's probably the main thing Secret are scared of as well in pushing the high ground. Because I said that the Lone Druid, it's not about the buybacks, which usually that's part of why the high ground push is scary. It's about the Venge. You're going to be swapped deep into the enemy base if you try go, and that could really make a fight start badly.
And she's popping her head into the jungle. As we can see, Secret have got really good vision over Complexity's half of the map now, so it's very hard to leave the base and do anything with Weeha. He's caught out the bear. He'll try and make a go for it, but the bear's going to be caked up. Let's get himself back up to the high ground.
See how Secret approach and like come out? They're making sure that no one gets swapped in. I think they know that the Venge swap is the one risk to them. Get isolated and then the fight starts very badly. He keeps trying.
He does. He keeps trying to push that lane in. Range Rex still looking pretty good in terms of the health. And they've only got 2 minutes left on Weeha's Aegis.
Who's going to get swapped?
Who's going to have the courage really to lead in here? Secret.
Dire's top barracks are under
Step
attack.
back. Smoke and go. Let's see what kind of angle they go into the base from. They're going to try and wrap around from the bottom.
It deals with the get swapped in thing though, because you're suddenly just all there because of the smoke.
And they throw out their spells mid to give the impression that they are still there. And here's the deep wraparound into the base from them. And look at the jump to Chessie. Cold Snap, definitely Glass connects, and here we go. Goes straight forward. The Billicate will come out. Chessie falling rather low. Misery bounced up with the Paralyzing Cask, and Limp coming in with the Exorcism. The Siphon as well. Puppy snowballing straight into the man, but the BKB comes out with the Death Prophet, starting to force back the side of Secret out of the base.
They can wait out the DPLT, they can probably just go back.
In fact, I think Envy, well, Weeha just realized he can just turn and right click him. Limp getting incredibly low, but the stun onto Weeha. He'll use himself out. There's a shallow grave out onto him, but Weeha could still be in trouble. He's still got the Aegis. He wants to use it, and he will. That's going to be him going down, but they did get the kill onto the Death Prophet. Death Prophet does have buyback. Snowball onto Swindles. Misery still trying to go ham here against the boys, against Hanskid. Hanskid now out of mana. Weeha gets himself a double kill as he takes down the Enchantress, and Enchantress does not have buyback. Misery escaping by the skin of his teeth. And this could be the fight that Secret were looking for. They're forced out of buyback already, and they have killed the Enchantress for good. Limp the Siphon, but look at the damage from Evie. He's been silenced. Lincoln's blocking the magic missile. And V is keeping it safe, going back out. That actually be the swap here, bringing Weehar across, but Puppey, he's going in incredibly deep. Snowballs forward. Death Ward coming out from Hanskin onto Puppey. Puppey will just get himself out of there. He survives. The Death Ward not going to catch anyone else. The Secret able to reposition themselves away from the Witch Doctor. MP is going to clip onto Chessie. Misery trying to go forward. This man, a bit of a madman playing around with minimal health. The cast comes out, the Crypt Swarm as well with the Radiance Burn. Misery's going to go down, ends up killing himself there. But not physically, as he doesn't get the deny out, and compLexity will be credited with the kill, but Space gets created. They found the melee right to the mid. BKB popped by Envy, looks for the right click straight away onto the Death Prophet. A buyback now from Misery. The Sunstrike, in fact, after the Yules, finishing off Death Prophet. Chessie's going to get bursted down. There's 4 down on the side of compLexity. Deafening Blast, the right clicks. They'll get Hanskin as well. There are buybacks available, and they will use them, but they've been mega creeped. Secret now with the edge, looking to the tier 4s. It's been an incredibly messy game here from the side, but GG is called by compLexity. Secret will find that win that they were desperately searching for, but I think they've got a bit of talking to do as a team after that game. Scant.
Yeah, I think compLexity end up, to me, from this tournament, they look very similar to Na'Vi. There's elements of what they do that looks very promising, but I feel like they need this tournament to get to the next tournament where they might perform a lot better. Secret, on the other hand, get to live another day. They get to go into that Wings game with the opportunity to... The chances are it's going to be between them and Wings. I think that's probably going to decide the third slot in the group. I'm not sure yet because it depends on other games as well. We don't know the results of, I think, virtus.pro versus Liquid, and virtus.pro has to still play Vega. Actually, I think maybe everyone except for compLexity still has a chance of making it through in this group.
Yeah, because we'll just have a quick sneaky peek at the score. Oh, it has finished. And spoilers, ladies and gentlemen. So, by the looks of that...
Liquid took out virtus.pro?
Liquid took out virtus.pro.
So Liquid will definitely be first, but now we've got all 4 of the other teams.
So this hasn't been updated. So, in fact, we can get the grid up here on our screen. It's probably wrong, but we'll try it. Let's click this so you guys here can enjoy the grid. And here we go. Production value. So this hasn't been updated with that Secret win just now. So the way that this changes, Secret now are going to be on 2 for 2, compLexity on 1 for 4. So Secret are now even with VP and Wings. So as you said, if Secret beat Wings...
It's the winners, right? Because Secret play Wings and virtus.pro play Vega, and they're all on the same points. So it's the winner of each game. Goes second and third.
Okay, so it's as simple as that.
That's what it looks like, yeah.
It is as simple as that. So Secret, winner of Secret versus Wings on here will go through, and the winner of Vega versus VP on the mainstream will go through. So 2 very, very, very important games coming up next on both streams. It's all up to Secret versus Wings and VP versus Vega. Who's going to join Liquid in terms of going through? We should be pretty much straight on with that game very soon on the stream, me and Scant again. So we will be back very shortly. So don't go anywhere. We're going to have the Secret game on this channel. Secret versus Wings right around the corner, ladies and gentlemen.